Huh. This this little blank spot here is looking a little weird. Let's see if I'm actually up and running. Let's see if all right. Yeah, cool. Sounds like I'm up and running. My chat's glitching over here in the window, so let's see if we can do over here in the window. So let's see if we can turn that window. So let's hold on. Let me get my shit together. And guess we'll just have to use a mutt box today. So I'm gonna put that there, and then we'll scale that down so it fills the chat space. There we go. And let's see, checking here. I can still hear myself, which isn't cool. We'll get up and running here in just a moment. We're gonna do some. We're gonna create some tokens. So there. Post and lift. Paste. There we go. Okay, so hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them, and I publish online. And I've been focusing my attention on Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition since 2017. I've been using Eberron as my home campaign since like 2006. So happy 20th anniversary, Eberron and Keith. Fantastic campaign setting. It's been my favorite since I adopted it. And I've been playing D&D since the days of Redbox and 1st edition. 1987, I think, is when I actually started. And so this is the first time that I've created an adventure, a published adventure, and the first content I've made for Eberron specifically. So this is all coming together really nicely for me. There we go. I finished doing my social media updates, so now we can click over here into the goodness. There, and here. I'm at the on the X Twitter platform at Phil Kearney. If you are on that platform, be welcome to hang out. Like, subscribe, bell icon to get notifications when we're live in the future. Hey, new subscribers, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you being interested. And here's the full playlist of all 269 previous episodes, so you can check all that stuff out. So here's the book cover that we created. Crystals of Mabar is for 4 to 5 characters, level 7 to 8. It takes place, you're fighting necromancers in a manifest zone that is connected to the plane of undeath called Mabar. And so it's in the this manifest zone is in the forest of Carnwood in the nation of Karnath on the continent of Corvair in the world of Eberron. And a manifest zone is when one plane of existence, they call it co-terminating, when they like overlap and combine, and you can feel the presence of another one. In this situation, the plane of undeath is terraforming and destroying the forest that the manifest zone is in. It's leaving this this coffee grind like soil that's depleted of life, and from that necrotic soil grows unnatural plants like ferric ivy, the Vulpina Lotharia, as well as it animates all of the creatures. All the dead creatures in the zone. So here's a living grave, which is a 2x2 token that is it's a monster generator. There's no telling how many corpses are actually in that mass, but while the thing still exists, it'll generate and spawn more undead ghouls and zombies mostly that'll climb up out of the pit here and then run across the landscape up top here to attack people. So if you follow the undead back, this is the sinkhole that they're coming out of. You have to drop down into the sinkhole or drop a fireball down in the sinkhole to destroy the living grave that's inside. So it's just a little vignette. I call them vignettes because they're like little standalone pieces. They're self-contained, and they can be dropped into any sort of like cemetery undeath situation. So what we're doing right now is we're creating these replicating patterns of tokens. The ferric ivy is kind of like razor vines. It deals damage when you start your turn or step into the space that this stuff occupies. This Litharia Vulpina it releases a stinking cloud effect. You can burn it to get rid of it, but while it's present, it releases these toxic fumes that if you step into the space of the Vulpina, it forces you to make a Constitution saving throw against the word I'm looking for is Constitution saving throw, or be like the stinking cloud effect. It sickens you. You lose your actions for the round. And we already have the crystals, the coffee ground grit that the soil becomes. We still have the emerald caps, which are mushrooms, and plague moss, which is just a loam that forms on the coffee grinds, and it's just like algae. It's like undead algae. It doesn't really hurt you, but it's just substance. And then these are florets of Mabar. They're little black dandelions that grow up out of the coffee grinds, and then they're little sprigs. When they catch the wind, they'll spread, and wherever they hit, they start to decay and necrotize the soil wherever these little dandelion seeds float and land. So, like, this is the harboring. These things are the harbingers of doom, even though they themselves don't actually do anything. So we are creating yellow caps right now. So let's grab our reference page. Here are the florets of Mabar. Here are the emerald caps. Here's the Vulpina Litharia. I just locked up for some reason. Here is the plague moss. I have to shut this down and reopen it now, apparently. I tell you, OBS doesn't play nicely with Photoshop a lot of times. I picked up Affinity, but I don't think I'm going to start using it until after I finish this project, which will be a few months. So, and then here is the Ferric Ivy. Though I need to the language that we had to use to make it stand out on the map means I need to incorporate bone-like coloring along the stalk, vine. I've got like this spot, like right here in my chest, but it's in my back that just feels like it's locked up, and I can. Maybe it's a rib out of place. Maybe that's what's going on. I take a breath and it's bleh. It's not cool. Not cool, dude. Let's grab. Here's the yellow cap color. Here's a darker color. So we're going to take this this little mass of. Actually, you know, now that we're right here, I'm going to take this mass of yeah. Before we get into it, I want to make sure that the pattern that we have is going to be replicatable. So that's going to be line, and then this is going to be color. So let's put those down here on the board. Now for now, let's go into here. I want to carve out a chunk of these. You can see here's a patch, and then here's a right. Here's a patch that occupies a square. Here's a lighter density, and then here's a low density. Here with the ferric vine, we have fills a full square, and then this is like a lower density, but you can see how it curves in and connects. So this helps keep it from looking too boxy, right? By having only part of a square filled, it helps make it feel more organic while you're tiling. See, this feels a lot more organic. It's just using and flipping the shapes. See, it's just the same shapes being flipped repeatedly inside their own space. But it looks natural. It feels good. And I know that the florets here don't really come through very well, but it's just a mild change in color. I'm fine with that. It's not really critical. It's the Vulpina and the Ferric Ivy that are important because they actually have conditions and damage that they deal. So naturally we have them stacked up in front of the doors for the team to deal with. The undead don't care. They don't care about, they're immune to poison, so they aren't sickened by moving through this stuff, so they ignore it. They'll avoid the Ferric because their body will get caught up on it and tear and stuff. Maybe the zombies don't care. They'll just waddle off and fall into a puddle. That's funny. But yeah, we care about their shit. God damn it, I locked up again. My computer is chugging today, man. Absolutely just chugging. Let's close that out and reopen it. There. So we're gonna build that. We want to build that same sort of replicatable pattern with these emerald caps. So these can be the caps can be boiled down into a tea that if you drink it will give you no, that's not right. You can make an ointment out of it and rub it on your eye and gain dark vision for until you take a short like an hour, I think is how long it lasts. Yeah, it lasts an hour. It's basically just like a potion. It's an ointment that you wipe on your eye and then you get the dark visions. That, and I'm gonna actually carve this out. Put that there. Part. Full. There we go. Start here. Cool. Now let's duplicate that. Test. Let's take this over to the testing area. This might be okay. We'll find out. Here, we're gonna rotate. Oh, that's probably not good. All right, well, let's fix that so it's less of a swastika, shall we? There, let's try that. And if that works out, we'll just replace the other one. So enter here, free transform. Let's go with free transform. Boom, 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 boom. Like that. This is not a. I'm not getting a true reading here. Hold on. What I need to do, I did this last time. I need to put markers since the. Oops. Here. Three. A little marker like this on the edges of the square is going to get concealed by the actual grid square itself, but still leave a signature presence, so that when this gets picked up and spun around, it'll retain its true square form. There. Now when we copy paste, it should be a square. Bam. Square status achieved. Transform. That way we can get a true read on like where is it actually centered up. If we transform. Oh yeah, and then here's this. Free transform. Bump, 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 bump. That's not bad. This is not a bad array. So let's do this one. Let's flip horizontal and then give it a twist. Transform. Like that. There. It's a pattern, but it seems it's random enough that I don't think it has an issue tiling. The spaces that are in between each of these areas, there's a variable size, so it's it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel initially obvious where the lines are beginning and ending. Obviously, there's a through point here, and here, and here, and here, but the distancing and the spacing on everything here seems to be good enough to be able to I think doesn't feel quite right. So hold on real quick. Let's retile that. I'm going to Free transform. Not like that. I gotta be mindful of those corners. Free transform. Flip horizontal. And snug this up against the edge. Then I want to take this. And snug this. Snug this towards the edge. Here. Well, hey Needle, how you doing? What's going on? This should be a decent pattern to replicate. I think I want to tilt this a bit like that. These are mushrooms. We're making a token of mushrooms to drop as just an environmental piece. I'm gonna rotate it like that. So we're gonna take a moment here to replicate patterns. So copy, paste. Free transform. Paste. Free transform. Bump, 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 bump. There we go. Bump, 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 bump. The gap that forms here in the center is larger than the gaps that form anywhere else. So that tells me that I need to probably flip this back. Well, let's do that. Let's flip vertical also. And then we can take this, merge down, and push this up a touch. Here, and then let's grab this and free transform. Let's flip that horizontal and then twist it to here. And then I think I want to take this. That's going to create a pretty significant gap. So let's push this here and then pull that there. And then, yeah, let's free transform, flip horizontal. All right, let's see how this goes. So copy, paste, free transform. Oof, yeah, that's going to be a really, really big gap there in the middle. So that's not going to work at all. Let's, these might not be good shapes. That's the problem. Erase. Let's get rid of that. And get rid of that. And then we'll take this again, free transform. Here, like that. Trying to find a balance, right? So that when we invert it, it'll still feel good. Free transform. This might be enough density. I'm going to, so I stream 10 times per week. And so Monday through Friday in the mornings like this, doing Eberron stuff. And then at lunchtime on Tuesdays and Fridays, including today, we're developing the martial power system. I am very much looking forward to seeing some of the information about the Ranger today. I'm not necessarily digging that diamond pattern that we have here in the middle. But yeah, once we hear how the Ranger is going to shake out, then we'll be able to go back in today. That'll be in about what is it, 7? It'll probably be in about 5 hours. We'll be back around and updating the Ranger stuff that we have in the powers document that we're building. And then here we're going to go around here like this and go boom, 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 boom. Nope. Here, let's grab that. Bring that here. Let's go like transform. Boom, 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 boom. And then last piece. Not horrible. All the spacing here seems to be pretty consistent regardless of how it gets flipped around. So that's a decent pattern shape. Let's get rid of the grid. Yeah. See, yeah, it is with this patterning, with all the little clumps being relatively equidistant from each other, it becomes difficult to tell where like you can see it here vaguely. You can see the tic-tac-toe pattern. But that's pretty good. So I think we've got a working solution here, and then we have the less dense piece here that'll help shake up the spacing or the look of it, so it's not as static by just adding a partial. Let's move this over here to back in frame. There, and I want to avoid too strong of a shape language. Like I don't want it to be too Euclidean because it pops out. Like it stands out as a flag because it's a recognizable pattern that you're creating. So good. And we're gonna have to put the little dots to make sure we maintain our square. Again, we gotta be here. That's such a small, subtle. Oops, let's get see, the little buttons that we can frame up. They're so subtle you don't really see them on the grid. Cool. All right, and so that's our coloring. And let's go with line. We have a black and white. We always want to have a black and white version because we provide the assets that we stack up inside of the actual publication has color and black and white tokens. Color for virtual tabletop, easy peasy. But for for actual kitchen table gaming in person, like Meat Space, then I can do a whole page of this stuff, like 4 columns or whatever of this stuff, so you can print, or like whole pages of separate pieces that you can print, cut out, and then drop onto your tabletop map in 1-inch squares. So each of these squares is a true 1-inch space that occupies the map. So like this, all this color stuff here, we have a black, like there's black and white version of all of this, so you can peel away all the color, so it just becomes topographical information without any of the additional table dressing, as it were, to it. So which is why we wanted to provide this space of the crystals and stuff. So you have that figured out there, and partial color, partial color here. Let's erase this. And we're going to get rid of that. Right, we'll do shade first, and then we'll do cap, the tops. So just going to lump in some color here that we're going to smudge out. You know, I don't hate this. So yeah, Monday through Friday in the morning, Eberron, stuff like this. Tuesday and Friday lunch times, we develop the Martial Power System. On Wednesday, sometimes I show up on Wednesday, sometimes I don't. If I'm going to be busy at my day job, it's going to be on a Wednesday. So that sometimes I'd like to stream on Wednesday at lunchtime when I can, but it's not a guarantee that I will. So if I do, right now we're working on Spelljammer subclasses. We're making 13 of them, one for each class. And Mondays and Thursday nights, like last night, we work on Spelljammer, Mega Kaiju, and ship design and adventure creation for Spelljammer stuff. And on Saturday morning it's a grab bag. I can do whatever I want. Sometimes I work on commissions. Other times I'm doing a personal project. I mean, all this stuff are personal projects, whatever. Sometimes I'm working on a book. Sometimes I'm just doing illustrations. I'll probably have a very, very short session tomorrow because I've got some content that I need to create for Kraken Week. We're doing the Star Kraken Mega Kaiju, and we have variant rules for underwater combat and losing your breath. So those are both nautical themed. It's nautical themed content. There you go, and so I'll be on and stream a little bit on Saturday morning, and then I'm going to log out and see if I can get like a good solid 8 hours of creating the 2 videos that I want to put out next week as part of the Kraken Week event. Big shout out to Pointy Hat and Jenny D for putting that on. I am excited to participate and proud to be included. Let's duplicate those layers. Merge that group, put it into a test folder, pick it up, drag it over to our test environment. Oh boy, I am hungry. I tell you what. tell you, man, a pound of grass-fed beef is incredibly filling. That is what I had for food yesterday. I had basically the higher density of nutrition that a food has, the less of it you need to eat. And so I had some really quality protein yesterday. So I didn't eat a lot. So I am absolutely starving right now. Literally. Let's free transform. And then let's do it like that. No, let's spin that around like that. Here and here. The pattern wasn't so obvious when it was just line art, so the smudging made it more box-like, which is breaking it. So what I need to do we need to have a gap filler here. Yeah, that's primarily where we need. That's what we need to have happen. So let's get back into our color. Houston, we've detected an issue. Let's go put our grid back on. Take your time with timer. How much time do I have left anyway? 7:30? I've still got 20 minutes. Cool. This will probably help. All right, let's see if that jives. Duplicate, merge, pull into the test environment. Over. This is looking better already. That density is much better. Small, subtle improvement. Small, subtle steps, big improvements. Still have that grid look. So what I need to do is push the dark here and here out to the edge. Like I like how this is smudging across. These are connecting really nicely. That's good. I just need to get rid of this degree of separation here. So the middle of this and the middle of these two masses, this one and this one, those are what need to be changed. Boy, this is why we get paid the big bucks, folks. Here, I'll do like that. No, I'll do this here. All right, I bet this time it's gonna be okay. It's this is where the grind comes from. Doing this shit over and over and over again. Make sure it turns out looking good. But that's how we end up having good-looking tiles that cascade properly. Transform. Paste, transform. This is going to turn out, I think this is going to turn out okay. 4. 3. Oof, this center point might be too prevalent. Yeah, there needs to be something here in this center. So it's just a 1. It's here that needs it. That's where it needs it. Something like that. Then we need to take our trimmer. Good. I bet this is going to be fun now. Duplicate, merge, import it into our test environment, scooch it over. Copy, paste. Now we're starting to, I think this is going to be okay. He says with hope in his voice. Let's perpetuate it a little bit. Free transform, flip horizontal. Transform. Vertical. I think we got something good here now. Oh crap, I can still fucking see it. What do I do? How do I fix? The problem that we're having now is inconsistency along the creases here. So what I need to do is I actually need to, looking at this, this appears to be the real, this appears to be the most heinous perpetrator. I'm going to leave this in place here. I'm going to go down to color here. I'm going to merge those. So let's see. So I actually need to back that off. up so it's not sitting on the line like that. That'll help. I'm breaking my own rules about borders, and I need to eliminate margins. Like, that's a hard margin. That was an error on my part. So that needs to be resolved. This needs to be resolved like that. Cool, that helps. Color. Right down to here. Right over here. I think that might have been the biggest perpetrator. So if you're going to go along the edge, it has to be a curved organic shape. Otherwise, it's going to feel unnatural when it hits the border. It has to be self-contained yet replicatable. You know, it's a delicate balance to weave between those two things to find something. This might be okay now. Hey, hey. Fifth verse, same as the first. There, let's stitch that up. Duplicate. Needle Man, I don't know if you're still around or not. What do you got going on? Get so hyper fixated on what I'm doing, I forget there's people hanging out. My apologies for being inattentive. Hello. Paste. Free transform. This gonna end up working for transform. I may have trimmed off too much. Oh god, it's so difficult balancing these things. This guy's absolutely okay. Okay. The problem now is that I have too much line space at the edge, so it's creating that tic-tac-toe pattern. So I need to bleed into and out of the edges. Without squaring off the corners. That's my hard border. I have to curve this around so it respects the border. Tricky. These things are tricky. Good challenge. What I really want to do is make sure this curves all the way out to the edge. So there's no ongoing line through that makes it look like tic-tac-toe grid. That's all we're trying to do, is eliminate the potential of tic-tac-toe. Shit. Alright, we are damn near out of time. Let's duplicate, merge, push up into the test zone. I think I'll probably be doing some of this tomorrow. I think I'll jump on in the morning and do 2 hours of this and then get to work on making videos for Kraken Week next, starting on Monday. Let's Merher. Copy paste. Free transform. I think we've got it. Uh-oh. That ring in the middle, that's, I mean, it's interesting, but it's unintended. That ring is weird. And we still have the problem of the cross forming. Better, we need to have these two things intermingle with each other. That needs to intermingle, so those aren't close enough. This needs to bridge across here, so that's not broad enough. All right, well, I'm gonna have to let it go because I gotta log into my day job. We're gonna be back at lunch today. We're gonna hear what's going on with the Ranger for 2024. And then we're going to dive into the Martial Powers project and look at the modifications that we've made to the Ranger already ourselves and see how well they jive with what's going on with revisions. So that's it for now. I'm going to be back in about probably in about 4 hours. We're going to knock this down, and then I'll be out for the day. So catch me up in 4 hours. I'll be here for about maybe 60 minutes or so. And then we'll jet. So thanks all for hanging out. This one's been a challenge for me. I don't mind the challenge, and I hope you're enjoying the experience. So thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you on the other side. Cheers.